Denmark is one of the richest countries in the world and is also up there top 5, top 10, depending on who you ask, of the highest average salary in the world. But how much do normal people make and what are some examples of salaries in certain jobs? Well, I have the answer for you today. I have 10 different payslips from actual people who work different jobs all around Denmark, and we'll see what kind of job you need to have to make like $10,000-15,000 per month. But in Denmark, we actually kind of suck at talking about our salaries. It's a little bit taboo to talk about how much money you make. Even with like your friends and family or co-workers, you don't really talk about money in Denmark. But perhaps there's been a little bit of a shift, at least for some people, in the past couple of years, and that is how I can make this video, as a lot of people are sharing their payslips on Reddit. So that's where we'll head today here on a computer. So we head to this subreddit called DK Lønseddel, which means payslip basically. And here a lot of people just share their payslip. And let's just jump into the first example I found, and it is a doctor. And at least in Denmark, we have this, I guess, belief that doctors, they just make a buttload of money. And they can, but usually it's after a long education and after they have worked for a very long time. And usually working in the private sector is a lot more profitable for a doctor. So here we have a payslip from a doctor who has worked for 8 years, and actually this payslip is rather simple compared to some of the other ones we'll look at, but basically we want to look at this number down here, which is just the actual amount that people are getting paid after paying all the taxes and everything. So this doctor makes around 26,000 Danish kroner per month after taxes and all that. And to be honest, that sounds very low in Denmark for a doctor. But let's move on to the second example, and this person makes a lot of money. So this person is a 39-year-old CTO in a company and has been with this company for 1 year. And we can see that this person has around 84,000 Danish kroners paid out per month, which is quite a lot, I think. And if you just want to get a quick glimpse at how much taxes we actually pay in Denmark, you can just see here that I guess the number up here is, I guess, the base salary, the base monthly salary this person gets. And you can see that's basically double of what this person has paid out every month. So we pay a lot of taxes in Denmark. Now, of course, being a CTO in a company, there's probably a lot of responsibility, and this person probably has a pretty good skill set and provides a lot of value for this company, but not a bad salary. All right, on to the next one. This person is 25 years old and is an IT specialist at Novo Nordisk, probably the largest company in Denmark. And furthermore, this person shares that he or she has ADHD and autism, so getting a job that was the right fit hasn't been easy. But we'll see here that this person makes almost 27,000 Danish kroner per month as an IT specialist, being only 25 years old. So we can see that this person actually makes more than the doctor does, which is kind of interesting. And I think that this range of salary here is just around the average for people in Denmark. So with a salary like this, you can live a pretty good normal life in Denmark. Okay, let's move on to the Danish army. So lately in Denmark, there's been a lot of talk about, well, funding the army and basically how it's kind of falling apart and all employees are leaving the army and no one wants to be there. And let's be honest, a big part of that is the salary. So let's have a look at this. What is it? Maybe a staff sergeant, I think, with more than 7 years in the army. And here we'll find the amount down here, which is just around 19,000 Danish kroner per month, which honestly is not a lot, especially with the amount of experience and responsibility. And even if you move up to being an officer in the army, they only make a few thousand Danish kroner more per month. So in my opinion, it's really no wonder why the Danish army can't find the amount of staff that they need and that they can't keep the staff that they have. It simply doesn't pay enough for the amount of time and effort and skill that you put in and responsibility that you have. All right, next one. I think this one is kind of interesting because at least when you hear about things in the US, you always talk about, someone is making minimum wage at McDonald's. It's like one of the worst paying jobs that you could probably think of. How is it working at McDonald's in Denmark? How much do you make? Well, here we have an answer. This person is a supervisor at McDonald's and has been a supervisor for 1 year. And this person is 28 years old. And here, this person has in hand every month 27,000 Danish kroner. So again, this supervisor working at McDonald's makes more than the doctor that we looked at earlier. So really, that's pretty good, I think. In Denmark, McDonald's and, well, other companies actually have to pay decent salaries to people. Okay, how about a school teacher? Well, here we have it. This is a school teacher who has worked for 10 years. And this person has around 25,000 Danish kroner paid out every month. So again, around that average in Denmark, perhaps a little bit below. But another thing that we actually don't quite get from that one number that we've been looking at is pension payments. In most jobs, you actually get that the company will pay a certain amount to your pension every month. And here that amount is around 17%. So you can see it's almost 7,000 Danish kroners on top of the salary that you're getting. So essentially the salary is a bit higher than those 25,000, or quite a bit higher actually, but all of that goes to your pension. Okay, but here's a fun one. How about if you work as a temp at a school in Denmark? This person is 20 years old working as a temp, and I think we can quickly see that this person actually makes the exact same as the actual school teacher, which I mean is awesome for this person. That's quite a lot of money, especially if you're 20 years old. But perhaps then there's something wrong with the payment of the actual school teacher, as they probably have a longer education and a lot more experience and perhaps deserve a little bit of a higher salary. Now, of course, being a temp, you might run into a lot more uncertainty. There might be months where you have a lot of work and then months with not a lot of work. So of course, you have to take that into account. But I mean, 20 years old, making as much as a normal teacher, good on you. Okay, next up we have an analyst in a bank. And this person is 28 years old and makes almost 31,000 Danish kroner per month. Working in the financial sector in general in Denmark is pretty lucrative. So if you work like in finance or IT, consulting, those jobs usually pay quite well. A job that is often debated in Denmark that doesn't pay that well, especially compared to working hours, work environment and so on, is being a nurse. So let's have a look at this nurse here. So this person recently finished their education and works 32 hours per week. The norm in Denmark is 37 hours per week, but like sometimes in jobs like this that are like super demanding, people just get stressed actually working as a nurse. And so you'll see sometimes that people will work less hours just to, well, be able to manage it. And this person makes 16,600 Danish kroner per month. So you can see why nurses often complain about the low pay. That is not a lot of money here in Denmark. But I have another nurse as an example, this time one with 12 years of experience. And you can see that this nurse actually makes quite a lot more. Now, this particular person also works quite a lot in the evening and during the night. So there's of course an extra payment for that really brings this amount up to around 32,000 Danish kroner per month, which is definitely a pretty good salary in Denmark. But like we can see that this person has like 29 hours of evening work and 58 hours of night work. So in Denmark, we really like our windmills and our wind energy. So this person is a project manager in this industry and has 4 years of working experience and makes almost 35,000 Danish kroner per month. And I think that's pretty nice salary for a project manager. Okay, this next one I took in because it's kind of interesting because, I mean, you can see that we pay a lot of taxes in Denmark. I mean, most of these salaries, you basically see that people pay almost 40-50% of their salaries in taxes. And of course, those taxes go to a lot of different things. We have free education, free healthcare, but we also have a pretty good welfare system. So this person here shared how much they get being on welfare as a parent, because you do get a bit more when you're a parent. So being on welfare, this person gets around 11,000 Danish kroner per month. And this last payslip that I have to show you today works as a parking attendant, parking guard. This person will write you a ticket if you park in the wrong place. And we are very strict with that here in Denmark. And this person will get paid almost 20,000 Danish kroner per month. All right, I hope you found it interesting hearing a bit more and seeing some real life examples of how much people actually make working pretty normal jobs here in Denmark. If you want more videos from Denmark, from Copenhagen, videos about living here, then make sure to subscribe. And hey, thanks a lot for watching.